Hey, hey. Sorry for all the delay and everything. I'm going to turn down that music just a hair. Don't mind me. Hey, Minx. How you doing? Oh, that chat box is still wonked. Let's fix that. Where is it? Good, got two new characters, Dory and Nahida. Nahida after 3 single pulls. Congratulations. That is quite good. By the way, can you hear my background music? I think you probably can. But maybe I don't want. And how about... now? Can you still hear that or no? You have a team set up for Nahida, and no, you can't. Okay. That's what I thought. This could be interesting. But, oh well. Nothing to do for it. Not right now, anyway. I don't know. All sorts of weird nonsense. Anyway. But you have a team for Nahida. What is your team setup for Nahida? It should be back. Also, I need to... There we go. Official Sucrose Jingcho Nahida. Yeah, that'll do it. That will do quite well, actually. I mean, Nahida's just a beast. She goes with all sorts of crazy... any team that can utilize Dendro can utilize Nahida very well. Anyway, don't love where my model's sitting. Let's... better. A little bit better. I am going to... you start extending your castle. Interesting. I was working on D&D before stream, and let's... we're gonna... shuffle that over so that chat has space. Maybe I can just... There we go. Anyway, as I was starting to say, I am doing character. And I kind of just got stunlocked working on this before stream. And I decided, you know what, let's just stream making a character. Rory, race, half-elf, wood? Question mark? Alignment, neutral, good. Experience points need not apply. Okay. So, first things first, we got to get stats. My DM is being generous and actually giving a 30-point buy, so let's... If I just... There we go. And how did that affect? Can I close? There we go. Now we can see everything. Now a chat box is weird. Not that chat box. Where is it? Whoops. Didn't mean to do that. I don't even know what I just moved. But I need to... There we go. First time chat. Character building is always fun to watch. What approach are you taking to it? So I have a character design already somewhat in mind. And then I've actually been working on this character for a while. Originally, I was planning to go Paladin 6, Warlock 1, Sorcerer 1, just hit all the Charisma classes. Usually the way I take to the approach I take is that I think of basically what I want the character to do. I think of their personality. I think of what kind of abilities that I want them to have. Do I want them to support? Do I want them whatever? And then I'll usually end up finding some kind of a quirk. So this, I decided that I wanted to build a Crit Fisher Paladin, which is why I originally did Hexblade. But eventually I just ended up doing Paladin 9, just for simplicity. And... is there a space on this sheet for feats specifically? Just features and traits? Okay. But we have Paladin. Probably spells will come close to last. Not last, but fairly close. And I know that I wanted... We're using a weird mix of 1D&D and 5e rules, doing some of the playtesting. I know I get at least 4 skills. 2 for background, 2 for paladin, and that would probably be... I don't know if I want acrobatics or athletics yet. Maybe both. Perception, persuasion we bail on. But I do want insight. And unfortunately, since I'm just using a base sheet rather than, like, I could be using my Roll20 sheet, I suppose, I just didn't want to sign into it. But that might be better, because then I would have my proficiency. But I know my proficiency is 4. Doesn't autofill anything, so this sheet is pretty trash, and basically. That's fine. I'm able to do everything manually. It's how we always did it in the day. Why'd I put an asterisk? Okay, there we go. I know that we might do the wood half-elf. We'll see. We could also do... all of the basic half-elf variants that aren't the dragon-marked ones give up 2 skills. So I have 4 skills. One of them is acrobatics or athletics, and then if I had 2 more skills, I would choose persuasion and survival. Or actually not even persuasion, I would choose to the other one. So we know we have those 3, and then we have up to 3 more. Custom rules, we're getting 30 points. This is a fairly good point buy calculator. I've never been upset. I don't care about the attributes. We can just figure that out. I just know that I want to be a little bit smart and a little bit wise. And I'll probably want... well, I know I want 14 Constitution. For right now, I'm going to just fill in the scores which I want and need. Hey, Dominica, how you doing? And then I'm not sure if we're going strength or dexterity based. There's value in both of them. Dexterity do be the god stat in 5th edition, but I just don't know. Also, what if I move... all of this just a little bit further there? That's still fine, and then I'll give myself just a teeny bit more space here. All fine. All works. Played Lobocorp. I have no clue what that is. Okay, so we get to 17 charisma. We're going to cheat that a little bit because our DM being very lenient, we get a 1st level feat from from 1 D&D. We get a 1st level bonus. We get our 4th level feat, and we get our 8th level feat. Okay, so 1 D&D, probably lucky, but other options that are decent on 1 D&D would be Magic Initiate or Tough. Those are all solid. Lucky is almost certainly the thing. Our bonus feat. We are going to take Elven Accuracy, Charisma, for we will take Fey Touched, also Charisma. Ah, there's a subclass. My Paladin. I don't see a marker for a subclass, so we're going to go Ancients. That's fine. You know what? Let's just do that. People know the level 4 and level 8 feats. Going very much fishing. Yeah, Elven Accuracy. Fey Touched, and we're also actually going to grab Shadow Touched. We're playing the Descent into Avernus campaign, if you know what that one is. Basically, we're going to be facing a lot of fiends. Quite a few fiends. A lot of other just like... There's a surprising amount of things that are not fiends living in hell, apparently, but facing a lot of fiends. My character, the way I conceptualize it is that my character is going to be a Paladin of Ilmater. They believe in perseverance, that things get better, that whatever bad happens, we're the ones who can make things better, and helping people and all that. But also, she, they, he are extremely battle crazed, and kind of, I'm taking some inspiration from Brandon Sanderson. Shoot, I forget what the sword's named, but basically the character is very excited to kill demons. To quote, "Are you ready to fight some evil? Have you fought evil today?" So, good stuff with that. Whoops. A little bit murderous. Murderous of demons, but that's fine. Also, once again, I wouldn't say so much murderous as battle craze, because murderous implies, like, I don't know, to me, stealth or something. Killing in cold blood. She's just really excited to fight the evil. Bloodthirsty would be more accurate than murderous. To be fair, she's fine with tieflings. So Constitution's going to end up at 14. Why is that number... Oh, those are saves. They expect to be a single digit. But even so... Why is it so small? That's really obnoxious to me. If I... Okay, we're going to switch to my room view just for a second, because I'm sick of this. I'm going to pull up my Roll20 sheet. The thing is that it's actually on... I use my personal browser for that mostly, so I want to pull it up where you guys can't see real quick. Which is what I'm doing. Whoops. Pop that out. Okay. Back at it. Now I have the Roll20 sheet. Let's... I don't know what my strength score is yet. I don't know what my dexterity score is yet. Wisdom is either 12 or 14, just depends. I did already roll hit points. I put in some other stuff. Shadow Touch, Fey Touched. The campaign does allow silvery barbs. That is the number one thing. Totally going to go over well in a fiend full of, in a plane filled with them. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, like, that's what you mostly are there for. Doesn't mean that I need to kill everyone I see. She'll work with... She's not lawful stupid. I need to get in here and get rid of those. She wants to fight the evil, and when she gets a chance, she will. But that doesn't mean that she's going to, if they are non-hostile, that she's going to go for it. But she absolutely is excited to fight the enemies. It's more Tanya the Evil than, I don't know, name the lawful stupid paladin of your choice. There's a lot of them. Oh. Hey, thank you for the follow. Fate of the Dice. Not even break. I'm assuming break. Sorry for my GH. Okay, we have the Paladin +5 to all of my saves. We're going to uncheck athletics for the moment. And let's go back to our point buy calculator. So we're going to be able to boost this effectively to 20 because we're taking 3 half beats. Fantastic. And then, hello, greetings. How you doing? Fate of Dice. I get 30 points. This is the minimum. You might notice I don't have my secondary attributes selected. The rest of the party mostly consists of 2 goblins. Oh, but no, we do have... So we will need the war machines because we have a devil lackey of sorts who will need to be able to get from point A to point B. And the war machine's actually kind of good, so I don't need to worry about my warhorse being overburdened trying to abandon the cart. Because we don't have a way otherwise. If I could summon a second horse, if I was a wizard or something, that'd be one thing. We do have a druid in party. Druids don't have a long-term summon, though, that they can make that can carry them, do they? Do they have any medium beasts that they can summon with a long duration? Doing good? I'm also doing good. I'm a little bit late streaming, and I don't have my coffee, which I normally would do, so if I get tired, I might take a be right back for coffee. My head's blocking most of the chat box. Let's... Oh, wrong chat box. Move that up a bit further even. Just because I want my head where it is. It's fine that the chat box is there. Anyway. Yeah, I might take a pause for a coffee, but otherwise... I'm a little bit late for streaming because I got sucked into working on D&D stuff, and I decided, let's just work on D&D stuff. And here we are. Okay. 2 options. I think since we're level 9, my DM would let me get full plate, which obviously is the best AC option. I'm already crit fishing with Elven Accuracy. And although I won't be using Lucky too much for advantage, I do have that to give me a little bit of advantage. I have a mount who can use the help action. I have invisibility for 1 round at the beginning of a combat. Blinding Smite would do it. Handful of other ways to get advantage. With how I have things set up, I think Silvery Barbs is too valuable to lose, and Fey Touched gives me that plus 1 charisma. I could get rid of Shadow Touched, but since it's also giving me a charisma, like, I would need to find something that was worth that. Like, I basically need charisma anyway to get to 20, or I think it's worth it. So I could dump Shadow Touch in favor of... Oh, thank you for the bit. I could dump Shadow Touch in favor of Greater Weapon Mastery and then go full strength. If I do that... Okay, so this is where I am. Let's select attribute. Let's drop that down. Let's say Constitution and Strength are my secondaries. I have enough points for 1 more. So, like, I could go there. Or I can just bump Dexterity by 2 so that it's not giving me a negative initiative modifier. And then 1 point goes wherever. Doesn't really matter. I could... Then I need 1 more point. That 1 more point is very hard to find. I could go here. Instead of taking Shadow Touched, I take +1 to Charisma and Strength. I think that +1 Strength, I think that getting invisibility once per day, and the first level spell, I guess we use Cause Fear because that's the only kind of decent. Unfortunately, Shadow Touched has awful schools. I don't know what they were thinking, making Fey Touched have 2 of the best schools with tons of options, and Shadow Touched have super mediocre options and like half the number of choices even. Invisibility is not better than Misty Step, so whatever. I mean, I could do, like, that. I don't love it. We can do this. And then we have a negative initiative, but we make up for it. We're strong enough to run around in full plate without taking a hit to our speed. To be fair... The only negative of having not a high enough strength score is not being strong enough to carry your shit around and to, and you lose 10 speed, but since I'm mounted, it doesn't matter much. Motivation for going strength. Next level... Oh. Not next level. my next time I get a feat, so level 12, I can consider going Greater Weapon Master. I grab Greater Weapon Master, and since I'm a crit fishing build already, it does cute things. The -2 attack bonus becomes even less consequential with Elven Accuracy, etc. Oh, Elven Accuracy only is going to work on Dexterity. Never mind. There is no point in doing anything but a Dex monk, because I'm being dumb. Not a Dex monk, a Dex, Okay. I can't easily get this to 15. Even if I could, I couldn't get it to... Wait. Move that to Dexterity. I could bump this up. I need 1 point. It's probably more valuable than having the high intelligence. Go 10-12, but I don't know. I like having just a slightly positive intelligence modifier just because I'm slightly above average myself, and I like being able to... I don't know what average looks like, and so I always feel like if I do any kind of tactical BS, and since we're crit fishing anyway, it might not even be matter if we go have 14. Yeah, +1 to attack and damage is good, but most of how we are doing this build is that we use our charisma to give really good saves against, well, all sorts of stuff. Let's start filling in spells, shall we? Cantrips, none. First level. Just thinking about which ones I'll normally have prepared. Oh, hello. I am dumb and I already have most of this. Spells. Okay. I need to dump most of these because I need to dump all of them because I did that back when I was a Sorcerer, Warlock, Paladin, who gets all of the stuff. So I dump all the cantrips. We keep Silvery Barbs, actually. We lose Shield. We lose Shield, unfortunately. We lose Absorb Elements, also unfortunately. Featherfall, I think. Hex, obviously. Protection from Evil and Good from Warlock. But we still have these Lock and also... Whoops. Cause Fear, which is only verbal. And I'll fill out the rest later. What is it? Is it 30 feet or 60 feet distance? I can actually just pull that. I don't need to fill it out myself. But we have Cause Fear. Second level. Less Restoration, Branding Smite, Protection from Poison, Worth Grabbing, Healing. Third level, we're going to do something a little bit unkosher, and Paladin spell, Breakdown or List. Let's just look what RPG Bot has to say about stuff. Yeah. Aura of Vitality. I don't know this spell. Concentration up to a minute. Aura bonus action to cause one creature to regain 2d6 hit points. Yeah, that's 20d6 hit points over the duration, so... And this is said, don't use it in combat, but I'm not sure that I even care. But, probably worth keeping. Blinding Smite, obviously great. We don't have a huge party, so Crusader's Mantle is less good. Spirit Shroud, not what I'm about. Well... yeah. I don't think Spirit Shroud is for me. Elemental Weapon, Dispel Magic. Yeah, I'm not going to. Daylight. Does Daylight counter the spell Darkness? Because that might be worth grabbing because of Devils. Okay, so... I am level 9, and I have 5 charisma, so I can prepare up to 5 plus 1/2 my paladin level, rounded down. Everything's always rounded down. So that's 9. I can prepare 9 spells. The third level spells that I like are Blinding Smite, very much worth the difference between that and well, Smite at 3rd level. What was it? Not Prayer of Healing, it's Aura of Vitality. Aura of Vitality. And probably I should grab Revivify. So if I grab now... Revivify, and I think those are the only ones that are worth grabbing. Dispel Magic, yeah, I could do it, but... Magic Surgical, no. Remove Curse, no, not really. Daylight is tempting. But I think that well, I'll mark it down just because now we have the time to think. So, grab Delegate. Okay. I can choose now 9 from this list. This one and Cause Fear are always available. Don't need to worry about them. Protection from evil and good. In Avernus, probably higher value than Bless. Shield of Faith, good for me, but probably not better than Bless. We'll leave it out. Wrathful Smite, What does Wrathful Smite do? It causes fear. Wrathful Smite. $1d6 Psychic. Wisdom Thrower be frightened. Doesn't make them run, but they're frightened. I have to hit. I have to make a save. It's 1d6 versus against a fiend 3d6. And on a, 3d8, and on a crit 68. So that's probably near the bottom of the list. So let's... Bless could be as good as Protection from Evil and Good. Let's assume that I do want Blinding Smite. Probably all three of these. Aura Vitality is a little bit hard to justify considering, but 20d6 is a lot of healing. What is that? On average, 70 hit points of healing for a 3rd level spell. If I was higher level, I'd like it more, but we'll keep track of that. Oh, and I need, of course, Find Seed. We're going to mark it even though we aren't actually going to probably have it prepared, because we just hope that our steed survives. What does Protection from Poison? If it's poisoned, you neutralize it. Neutralize 1. For the duration, they have an advantage on saving throws and resistance to poison damage. There are a lot of devils that deal poison damage. 1 action, 1 hour duration, which doesn't use our, doesn't use concentration. It's really solid. Let's check out Branding Smite. I prefer to use Wikidot. Give them some love. 2d6 Radiant. And it makes them become visible. Unfortunately, Elven Accuracy doesn't help with against invisibility. But I can cast that. How often are my smites going to be what I keep my break concentration, and therefore these become less valuable? I also have a lot of fear effects. Well, a handful of fear effects and other things that'll give disadvantage. So Protection from Evil and Good is kind of less valuable. We're going to keep those for now. Protection from Poison, obvious. Prayer of Healing, we'll pass on. Lesser Restoration. Can remove blinded, deafened, paralyzed, poisoned. Probably worth having. Alright, forgot what Branding Smite did. Alright. It makes them visible. My brain is charcoal, obviously. This is 8. So I actually have enough that I can hit 1 more. I should check the... What extra spells does Oath of Ancients give? Ensnaring Strike, not worth it. Speak with Animals, cute. Moonbeam, too narrow of a range, not worth it. Misty Step, interesting. We already know it anyway. Unfortunately. Protection from Evil would be cool. Oh, wait. I am Paladin 9. Hold up. Hold up. Protection from Evil. Resistance to acid, cold, fire, lightning, thunder. Okay. Become thick. Something like double, Okay, we're not doing plant growth, ever. But protection from energy is solid, like super solid. So let's just add that. Energy. And that one also is a concentration spell. Find Steed, Daylight, no. Okay. That's a solid option for my... Okay, I get one more... I get one more prepared spell per day. What do we think? I think another fear effect isn't necessary, and I have other ways, like... It's just too narrow of a use. Shield of Faith is an option, but... Protection from Evil and Good is... I mean, it's... But it uses concentration, and we... Lesser Restoration is worth having. Branding Smite, worth having. Try to figure out a way around invisible people. Protection from poison, yeah. Blinding Smite, very good debuff. Aura of Vitality. Normally we don't use it, but maybe sometime at the end of a day. So worth preparing. Revivify, you feel bad if you don't have it and you need it. So yeah, that's 8. I don't think I need to worry about the other ones, which I was considering. Find Steed. If my mount gets knocked out, how unhappy am I waiting until the next day to get it back? Not very. So we won't usually prepare Find Steed. Daylight is good against some devils, but we have ways of dealing with devils. So I think protection from energy is the obvious choice here. Our third level spells, it's worth it to use Blinding Smite for both of them. It's worth it to use Branding Smite if we need it, or Lesser Restoration if we need it. Like, second level spells, use as necessary. First level spells. Silvery Barbs is honestly going to be used much more than anything else. Silvery Barbs, and of course, when we land a critical, we deal 6 extra d8 of damage against a fiend. Very good. We can use Cause Fear and Silvery Barbs one time without using any spell slots, so that's good. Also, we have invisibility. Does invisibility take your concentration? Anyone want to tell me? I feel like it does. Not that it terribly matters, but we always get invisibility, and we always have Misty Step. I think this is a fairly good balanced list for a Paladin. It's worth it to keep our 3rd level spells around for Blinding Smite mostly. Revivify or protection from energy if we need it. Willing creature that you touch. Sometimes that's going to be, particularly considering that we're in Avernus, that's going to be pretty important pretty often. And Blinding Smite is good. Okay, so we don't need you anymore. Point by calculator. We have 3 points left. We have 14, 14, 20. Those are 12s. We could... We can go like that. I like having more wisdom. Or we can go like this, which doesn't give us much. If we increase our strength, it's +1 to our strength, variety strength score abilities. But more to the point, if we boost our strength up to 11, then it gives us more carrying capacity. At 8, our carrying capacity is 15 times 8. 4 times 8 is 60, so 120 pounds. Technically... Technically, even with 8 strength, we can have plate on us. And if we are a wood elf, we'll still have 25 movement speed. And we have a warhorse. And then warhorse, of course, will give the scale mail. Barding. But we don't need to worry about that. And weapons tend to be like 2 or 3 pounds. If you're not doing heavy weapons, I think a rapier is 2 pounds. So I can have those. I can have a bunch of knives. We're not really going to approach 120 pounds, even if I grab plate. If I grab splint right now, it'll give me as good of an armor bonus as half plate, but much cheaper. Yes, I lose 10 feet of speed, but whatever. It's a fairly insignificant change. I kind of hate negative modifiers, so I'm still tempted to do this, but I know that it's wrong. What's probably best for me is actually to just hit that. +1 to wisdom is +1 to insight and okay, we have our spells. Strength is 8. There we go. Dexterity is 14. Yes. What else? We have... yeah, now we have to choose... We choose acrobatics, obviously. But I know that... Okay, this is meta-knowledge, but it's meta-knowledge I'm going to use. Our DM favors athletics checks for things which, by raw, don't require athletics checks, by the way. But knowing that, I'd rather hit that positive score on athletics. 3 points is a +2 to... Yeah, okay. Now I can either have half plate, I've been given permission, or I can go with splint, which I can argue for being cheaper, which doesn't affect much, but... Because if I don't go wood half-elf, then I will take these skills. I need to just ask my DM about equipment. Because survival is valuable, so is acrobatics, particularly on a dex build. Actually, because we're using the old shove grapple rules, I think it's very important that I have acrobatics. And since I know that I'll need athletics, particularly for some of the stuff that I'm going to do. Okay, so we're not a wood elf. Which does mean that wearing banded armor is worse. So I should probably just do half plate unless I'm given a budget. Let's mark, by the way, scale mail barding for the warhorse. I'm proficient with the pan flute. Is it the best thing I could be proficient with? No, but I like it, so deal with it, I guess. We're going with deal with it. Let's see. $65 hit points. One way or another, my armor class is 20. Because we chose the defensive fighting style. Personality traits. Uplifting. Persevering. Bloodthirsty. No temporary hit points. 9 d10 hit dice. Decent saves, despite. Lucky, very good. I don't think, because we also have, of course, Lay on Hands. Because of how efficient Lay on Hands is, I don't think that there is a need for me to go for tough instead of lucky. There's always a reason to go for alert, but just not going to. I think we're built. Even if I wanted to, I couldn't add another... Like, I could add +1 to dexterity, but I'd have to sacrifice a lot to get +2, and I'm just not willing to. So, game plan. No, I can also add my... Amulet of the Devout +1. Cool. I know I at minimum have that stuff. Character game plan. We use silvery barbs moderately frequently. We want to make sure that they fail Blinding Smite and or our Channel Divinity, at least for the first one. Evil and good, bless, I mean, they're good if I know it's coming, but I'd rather not waste a turn on them. Cause fear. Worth spending a turn on against people who are susceptible. I do have a high spell save DC. That should be 10 plus 8. Good, it is. And this should be 10. Good. I kind of wish that I had a cantrip. Not gonna lie. That is just a little bit, not perplexing, a little bit upsetting. Since I have such a high spell attack bonus and spell save DC, and my attack stat is only +2, that +3 matters a lot. It matters a hell of a lot. I just don't... I could take the cleric spellcasting fighting style. What does it do? It gives... You're not going to give me all the fighting styles, are you? No. Because the cleric, I can get the cleric spells. What's that fighting style? Blessed Warrior. You get 2 cantrips of your choice. So if I chose... Does Toll the Dead have an attack action? It does, yeah. No, it's a wisdom save. Never mind, it's a save. Sacred Flame is also save? Dex save? Cool. That's fine. But I could grab... What's resistance? It's not anything good, right? It's just... Yeah, small bonus to saving throws. Never worth the action. But I could sacrifice 1 AC to get Sacred Flame. Why Sacred Flame? Because it's not that we fight that much undead. Mostly it's just the fact that we deal with a lot of things that have cover. And 1d8 versus Toll the Dead is technically either a D8 or a D12. The D12s are nice for sure. But Sacred Flame, valuable. And, of course, Guidance is fantastic. So I do need to consider... Words of Radiance also, actually. 1d6 radiant damage. Not bad if I'm ever surrounded. Particularly since I have a... Oh. But basically every devil, and that's most of what we're facing, has magic resistance. So that brings things back fairly even. Good. I'm happier attacking anyway. That's where most of my power is, where I put in most of my strength. So let's utilize that. And of course we will grab a lance also. Wait, no. Lance is one-handed, but it's never going to be finesse. D12. The lance is... Nah. It's good while I'm mounted, kind of, but the fact that I'm losing 3 to attack and damage, not worth it. So we have a rapier. That's fine. Anything else that I need to... we have 45. This is lay on hands. Very good. And we have our Amulet of Devout with our one, not turning attempt, our one divine, no, our one, I forget what paladins and clerics have. It's their, is it divine something? I don't know. Whatever. Not a big deal. Ridiculous wisdom and charisma saves. Ridiculous all saves, really. Initiative +2 is fine. Speed is either 20 or 30. Ask about money, ask about items. Lucky, handy. Normally, you would use it to make sure that you make saves, but I don't think that that's going to be necessary for me because my saves are very, very good across the board. Ranging from +4 on a strength save, which is my bad one, and then 6, 7, 7. Yeah. Good saves. And the saves that I'm worse at are not the end of the world. We have Paladin of Ancients. Do I have that pulled up? Oath of Ancients. Resistance to damage specifically from spells. So we can still fail the save, but we take a lot less damage. That's important. Good against if we have anything else. Elven Accuracy. We get super advantage on attack rolls using various things. More spells per day. More spells known / prepared. extra charisma. Very good. I think... Oh, also, by the way, at least according to Jeremy Crawford, and you can choose for yourself how much you put it, how much stock you put into his opinion of what the rules are. But at least according to Jeremy Crawford, the Paladin save aura of protection, aura of protection. I was right. Cool. Aura of protection apparently applies to death saves. Not for you, because once you're unconscious, it doesn't work. But for everyone else. Very good. Very good stuff. I might as well mark. Luck. Just put it there. Ugh. Okay. Well, it's 5 o'clock. I have done this. What do you mean his word is the law? Whose word is the law? If I may ask. Word of the DM? Oh, Jeremy Crawford. I'm being dumb. I remembered what I was talking about. It's not. Jeremy Crawford tells you what he would rule as a DM at his tables. And he sometimes tells you what he believes the rules as written are. But I disagree with his ruling moderately often. I think that sometimes he gets it right and sometimes he gets it wrong. And he has some sense of rules as written, and of course, as the head rule person within Dungeons and Dragons right now, he has an above average understanding of rules, but the rules of this game are wildly complex, and there's so many interlocking parts that you will find things that he rules on that make other things just not make sense. Because there's just too many interlocking parts to always be right in every situation. And I think that's fine. I like using Jeremy Crawford's rulings if they are not part of an errata document, because errata document at least upgrades the rules as intended / rules as written. I still think that those rules can be bad, but at least they're official and they've had more thought. When he just talks about it in a tweet or something, he's saying what the rules are as written. He's making an official-ish statement, but it's not official. It's different. And also some of the rulings are not good for the state of the game, which I think is more important than minutia. I mean, let's face it. The game is terribly balanced. The fact that Silvery Barbs exists as a spell means that balance is out the window. And we can rule how the stuff works. But, I care about making sure that the game is fun for everybody and that the rules make sense and it doesn't feel like anybody's cheating, basically. This character, though, is pretty much done. I just need to do equipment, and you live in denial of that spell's existence. Fair. I think that it's probably one of the more obviously broken spells in the game, and it's particularly broken because it's such a low-level spell. There's, of course, also, like, Booming Blade has weird rulings that don't make much sense. There are other really broken things depending on how allowing your DM is. Frankly, so long as you're willing to spend 10 gold per battle, most people, when they get a familiar, don't use it very well. I consider the familiar to be a technically Silvery Barbs is situational. Something needs to succeed on a check against you. Well, succeed on a check, not necessarily against you. I guess you could screw over your friends. Something needs to succeed on a check. And it needs to be within 30 feet of you. And if you do that, do you know that you can use Silvery Barbs to fuck up Counterspell? By the rules, you're allowed to use Counterspell on Counterspell, and that works, but you basically can just use Silvery Barbs instead. It's not as reliable as countering Counterspell, but it's a first-level spell, so whatever. Familiars, the existence of the Owl familiar in particular is a little bit broken. The Owl should be listed under an improved familiar, because I think in most situations, if used well, the Owl, I would take an Owl familiar most of the time over an Imp familiar, which sounds crazy. It is a little bit crazy, but the fact that by Raw, you can use the help action during a flyby attack makes things go crazy. The Owl does a flyby, uses help action. You get advantage to an attack. Flyby, help action, you get advantage. Sooner or later, the monster, the opponent, the DM, gets annoyed by the fact that your Owl keeps swooping by. Casting Silence too. Your familiar would make any enemy spellcaster inept. Does Silence... Can you have Silence centered on you? But yeah. And then eventually, whoever it is gets annoyed with the familiar getting underway, mostly using the help action. And they attack it, and they'll probably kill it. Your familiar has like 1 hit point. But the fact that it at minimum needs to use an attack or spell against it, and very likely needs to ready their action to attack your Owl as it swoops in. If you can trade your first level spell, which you precast, and 10 gold pieces, to be fair, for somebody wasting an entire turn of combat getting rid of your familiar, that is a bargain. That is a good deal. What's the running cost for a minor potion of healing? Would move centered around target until they save the DC, but then the silence stays on that place? Oh. Can you cast spells through your familiar in 5e? I forget this. I don't, Let's see. Find familiar. You can cast a spell with range of touch. And it needs to use its reaction. Like, yeah. The fact that you can do some spells through familiar, like, that also is good. True. And then what's the range on silence? 30 feet? It can't be 30 feet radius. That feels way too big. But maybe. Okay, 20-foot radius. That's more in line. We'll use your concentration. And I should check that my... Let's see. Verbal somatic... that's not great. Wow. I don't know about invisibility, Misty Step. I didn't pull them up properly. And I also don't want to know about any of these. I know that all the smite spells are verbal. I know Cause Fear is verbal only. Silvery Barbs, I think, is verbal only. Yeah, casters get pretty hard screwed by if they are in silence, don't they? Yeah, of course you fly above melee range. I mean, every enemy caster is going to have that crossbow that they picked up at level 1, but... Yeah. Once again, I mean, even if, like, the worst case scenario with a familiar is that it dies in combat. And if you kill it in combat, that used an action, like burning somebody's action to kill your familiar is such a good trade-off. Yes, you can only do it once per combat. Whatever. Most, not all certainly, but a lot of casters have at least 14 dexterity, just because dexterity is the god stat of 5e. So I think that, drink a potion of invisibility. To be fair, that relies a little bit on your DM giving you access to potions of invisibility. Remind me, invisibility requires concentration, right? I know greater does. I just don't remember about regular. Yeah, also takes concentration. I mean, at this point, you're saying that you're going to have a potion of invisibility, which has a non-negligible cost. You're going to have them drink it to become invisibility. Potions are different, sort of. The crafting rules with anything except for scrolls are not very well defined in 5th edition. 5th edition doesn't... 5th edition sucks for magic items. I'm just going to put it out there. Is Dory good in Genshin? Dory is decent in Hyperbloom if you don't have Raiden or Kuki. And even then... Well, she's fine in Hyperbloom if you don't have Raiden or Kuki. But your Hyperbloom team would be... Yeah, potions don't require concentration. No, that's fine. That's not an issue. The only issue that I'm thinking of with the potion is you're probably going to have to feed your familiar the potion because they probably can't administer it to themselves. So that's a round of actions. Then you're going to cast silence on them. That's a round of actions. Yeah, 2 rounds isn't that much. It's a matter of if you have the setup and how much you're willing to expend to just take care of a single caster. Well, casters in a single fight. Silence before potions? Sure. I don't know why. What's the... Oh, yeah. No, never mind. I take it back. That's... Actually, I'm not sure if that matters. Can't target invisible. As a DM, I would rule that if I had an invisible friendly target, that they could use their reaction to help guide a potion to their mouth or otherwise help. Like, you couldn't target normally. Oh, but you couldn't target silence. But silence... I'm not sure, because silence is... Isn't silence a touch spell? No, it's a range of 120, huh? Never mind. Yeah. You can't target that. Hold up, though. I think you might be... Unlike the darkness spell, it seems that silence needs to be a fixed point. You're not going to be able to cast it on your familiar. At best, you're going to have to... You're just going to target somewhere. And in that case, your familiar doesn't actually give you any additional value. Here's the silence spell. A 20-foot radius centered on a point you choose within range. No save DC. No anything. That's actually, like... That's one of the things that's brutal, is that it doesn't have any save DC. But... Yeah. Concentration, 10 minutes. I wonder... I feel like there should be a silencing... muting smite? I don't know. Hi, Goman. How you doing? But yeah, silence in 5th edition, at least. I can't speak for earlier editions, 3.5 or whatever, but at least in 5th edition, silence is just blanketed over an area. If you can find a different spell which has a similar effect, then, I mean, we can consider that. I'm doing all right. I was a little bit late streaming because I got distracted making a D&D character, and so I decided to just make a D&D character on stream. And I think that it's pretty good. I need to ask... I'm going to actually text my DM right now. We're going to ask... We're going to ask about magic items, or just items in general, because that's the last thing that I need to get done here. When you get a second, could you... give me some gear guidelines. Okay, cool. We have now messaged the DM asking about gear. But I figured out the 9 spells that we'll have prepared most days. Plus Silvery Barbs, Cause Fear, Misty Step, and Invisibility. All of which are handy. And all of which I get 1 free casting of. Very good. I wish I had more spell slots to use on Aura of Vitality. That's a lot of healing for a 3rd level spell. But anyway. With that taken care of, since I don't want to end stream yet, let's look at a different character. What do we have? You play D&D on most... AD&D on most games, and somehow still thought that 5e rules are like AD&D. Ah, yeah. No, that makes sense. Man, you're going all the way back, aren't you? I'm surprised that you value Crawford's rulings that highly if you're an advanced D&D player, considering that he joined well after AD&D was done and doesn't only really responds to 5th edition stuff. All right. I need a new character. We're just going to build a character for fun now. Quick, somebody use exclamation point roll and roll a d20 for me. So, d20 for level. Oh, it actually does do a d20 automatically. A 4. Okay, we're playing a level 4 character of some sort. Just put in that 4 there. I'll take suggestions on class. If anyone has class suggestions, I'll take them. Otherwise, we can roll for that too. How many classes are in the game? Go to D&D Beyond. If I go... God damn it. I don't want source books. I want... Can you stop giving me source books? Fine, whatever. Something flimsy. Okay, we're going to build in 5th edition, so flimsy is going to be relative. Like, the lowest hit dice is D6. But let's see. Starting from D6, going to D8, we have Wizard, Sorcerer, Bard. I think it's D6 now. Then D8, we have Warlock. Bard also might be D8. I'm not actually sure on that one. And I think Clerics and Druids, Artificer, they're all D8. Really, there's only, I think the only D10 or D12 classes are Paladin, Fighter, and Barbarian. Also, I never build anything flimsy. Artificer is almost never flimsy, and I don't want to build the other ones. Let's see. Barbarian, Bard, Druid. Oh, Druid's D8. Fighter. Monk isn't flimsy, but I haven't built a 5th edition monk for quite a while. Same with Ranger. Oh, Ranger's D10. That makes sense. Do too many rogues. You don't like 5th edition Wizard. That's sad. Sorcerer? Yeah, I'll build a Sorcerer. Let's see. And I'm just going to grab something here so I can look at Aberrant Mind, Clockwork Soul, Draconic. I don't want to do Draconic. Divine Soul is interesting. Lunar Sorcery is very interesting. I'm in the mood to do Shadow Magic. Remember for myself, Eyes of the Dark, they have the best dark vision. 120-foot dark vision, same as owls, same as dark elves. And you can use two sorcery points, which is effectively a first level spell. And you can see through that darkness. So, incredible class feature, starting at 3rd level. But we have 3rd level, so great. Wizards have new stuff. Some of the, particularly as of later books, there are some very interesting subclasses of wizard. But yeah, I understand what your complaint is. Hound of Ill Omen. Oh yeah, this hound. Very obnoxious, but we're not level 6 yet, so we don't need to worry about it. Strength of the Grave. Charisma saving throw. Damage taken. Drop to 1 hit point. And radiant damage and critical hits overcome it. Once per long rest. Reasonable. So we have an avoid death feature, and we have great dark vision. And then quirks, whatever. So. Wrong tab. Sorcerer 4. And we're going to do Shadow. Race. Can be any race. I don't care because we don't need to be very specific on it. I'm not going to do a Dark Elf Sorcerer, Shadow Sorcerer, because there's too much overlap that's unnecessary there. But besides that, let's just races 5e. Could do a Sorlock, but that's not necessary. Just use the wiki dot. Tons of races. Wait. Why? Oh, here we go. Oh, lineages now. Okay, the common ones. Exotic if we want to just really break stuff. The one who passed through walls. Not sure. I have never built a Shadow Sorcerer before, which is part of the reason. The Hounds of Ill... Oh, probably Shadow Walk and Umbral form. When in dim light or darkness, as a bonus action, you can teleport 120 feet to another dim light or darkness area. There's some interesting rules with, like, things like Fairy Fire creating areas of dim light, which they assume mean darkness, but it's not specified. Anyway, and 6 sorcery points. That's a lot, but I guess you get 1 per level, so whatever. To change into shadowy form, resistance to all damage except force and radiant, can move through other creatures and objects as though they were difficult terrain. 5 force damage if you end your turn inside an object. 1 minute, ends early if incapacitated. If you die, dismiss it as a bonus act, or if you dismiss it as a bonus action. So, Umbral form takes to 18th level, but for 6 sorcery points, resistance to all damage practically, and a pseudo ethereal feature. Not bad. Shadow Walk. Okay, this right here, Shadow Walk. This is ridiculous. 14th level, you gain the ability to step from one shadow into another. When you're in dim light or darkness, as a bonus action, you can teleport up to 120 feet to an unoccupied space that is also in dim light or darkness. There is no limit to the amount of times you can do this. So as a bonus action, move 120 feet. Is there something that I can use to make to get bonuses from when I pop out of the shadows? Anyway, we're only level 4. So we have potentially the ability to see through through darkness. We have Devil's Sight for free for just 2 sorcery points. And we don't die easily. We're kind of hearty. In what context? Through Shadow Walk or for Eyes of the Dark? Yeah, Shadow Walk works anywhere with dim light. Dim light or darkness, and Eyes of Darkness, that is see-through magical darkness. Well, through our own darkness spell. But yeah, Shadow Walk, you need to start and end in either dim light or darkness. Although, I would argue, and as a DM, because I like the rule of cool and whatever, I would allow this. If you have a tarp not attached to you, I would allow you to use an interact with object to basically fling it between you and the sun, creating a temporary 5-foot patch of darkness, so long as you leave it behind to teleport out from where you are currently. Doesn't help on the other side, but I think that throwing something up to block light over a big enough area for you to teleport out of is mechanically cool. I like that. Not mechanically, but like thematically. And I'm okay with you using your interact with object action for that. Now, I would rule that you can't do that with your own cape or something. It needs to be something that you're able to leave behind. So, and unless you're carrying just like a stack of tarps with you, it's going to become a little bit difficult to do that more than about once per encounter. But with a little bit of setup, or if you have, say, a character who is at least one size category bigger than you that you can step into their shadow, I would accept that. If you have something that's 2 sizes larger than you that you can step under, all sorts of things like that, I think, are perfectly valid for your starting point. It's just a nice little thing, but that is all the way at level 14. In the meanwhile, we want to do something that takes advantage of the fact that we have the best dark vision in the game. So I've played sorcerer rogues before, effectively. Maybe, like, you could have a cape that you, so long as you take it off or otherwise have it disappear, like, you're still going to need to intercede it between the source of light and your entire body. Hey, thank you for the follow. By the way, I haven't actually said your name yet. Is it Evsika? But thanks for joining. For what it's worth, although I love D&D and I've been trying to make a D&D campaign happen online, like a streaming campaign happen for a while, we've ran into constant roadblocks, but normally I don't do a lot of D&D I like a lot of just chatting, D&D when it happens, and then I play a lot of Minecraft and random games, do a little bit of everything, kinda. Used to be a heavy Genshin player, but I took a hiatus from Genshin, and I haven't really felt the need to get back into it. We need a race. I'm considering half-orc because something to me... Okay, let's not take that one. This'll do. We're going to open up Tiefling. We're going to open up half-orc. They both are very interesting. Who doesn't have dark vision to start? Because that's also something... I could open up human, but I'm not gonna. Tiefling have dark vision, but not as good as we do. Hellish Rebuke. And then a bunch of bloodlines which can do stuff. Meh, whatever. Like, I'll keep it on... Oh, wait, but they also +2 charisma if we're going to use the old rules with ability scores. So, in that sense... The +2 charisma is valuable. We like +2 charisma. And then we get another +1 to intelligence or dexterity or something. Constitution, I believe, can be chosen. Yeah. Or wings. Wings are very good. But... Oh, never mind. Not war wings. Wings are an option. So, Tiefling, good because it gives us the correct scores. Half-orc. No, I thought that this was more fluid. Also, can I just say, half-orc getting screwed, only getting a single variant, whereas everyone else gets like a dozen? Kind of sus. But if I do some kind of crazy strength, but no, Dex is the only way that we're going to play a melee. I just wanted, when we reduce to 0 but not killed outright, you can drop to 1 instead. Relentless Endurance plus this grave thing seems fun to me. Just because we can stay at 1 hit point for 2 extra rounds. Even though their ability scores suck, I might just use the variant ability score rules where the ability scores float. I kind of like it better anyway, but on the other hand, maybe we just eat the ability score change and say that that's fine. Proficiency with a charisma-based skill. Melee weapon attacks are... Oh, you know what we're going to do? Let's just check Dragonborn real quick. They do not have dark vision, which means that we get some advantage there. But also nothing that is exceptionally exciting to me. I'm sure there's something with that. But we're going to check. I think Shadow Blade is a 3rd level spell, isn't it? If it's 2nd level, then sheesh. 2nd level illusion spell. Let's go. Sorcerer, Warlock, Wizard. So, we have our... thanks for catching that, Adamonius. Dual wield it? I mean, you can't have two of them, not for yourself because they have concentration, but you can wield it alongside a second one, sure. 2d8 psychic, finesse, blah, blah, blah. And so long as we are in dim light or darkness, we're going to just go on to that. Offhand with it. It does get to add your dexterity to damage. Just note that. It is a weapon attack, and it does get to use your... It has been declared, at least by, once again, Jeremy Crawford, that you do get to get your bonus to damage with it. So... yeah. But rapier with it and dual wielding is certainly, like, as a bonus action, if I don't have anything better to do, absolutely. Also, let's check real quick. Range self. Okay, so that takes out Twin Spell, unfortunately. And it's already a bonus action? Okay. So what we're going to do is cast Darkness and using sorcery points. All of our sorcery points go to casting Darkness. Like, that is the only thing we care about. We're level 4, we can do it twice a day. Good enough. So let's figure out... oh, this is not the character sheet. That's my Paladin that I was working on. Let's reset these to 27. And even though it's bad, I don't know, something about playing the half-orc makes me laugh. Dragon Mark of Finding gives Wisdom, Constitution. Disabled gives Strength and Constitution. I'll take Wisdom, I guess. Better than Strength. Strength is very much dump. We need at least the 10 Charisma. Do we want any Intelligence? No. But we will go to all the way to 13 Constitution. Make the most of that free point. We're going to go... We get 1 feat. What's our 1 feat? Astral Elf Bladesinger. Ooh, that's fun. What level? Also, what is the... What are the half feats? What is the half-orc half feat specifically? Stop. One right now, but you get a martial at 1. Yeah, true. Don't Bladesingers... No, you don't get blade singing until level 2. Okay. Still, cool stuff. Full list of half feats. I specifically want the racial... You know what? Let's just check the Wikidot. Here we go. Spells. Feats. And we scroll to the bottom of feats and we get racial feats. Dragon Fear, Drow High Magic, Flames, Infernal Constitution. It's probably Orcish Fury. I believe Infernal Constitution is... Okay, I think that's all of them. Orcish Fury, the obvious. +1 Strength or Constitution. When you hit with an attack made with simple or martial weapon, Can roll damage dice an additional time and add it as extra damage once per short rest. It's a half feat. Immediately after you use the Relentless Endurance trait, you can use your reaction to make one. Okay, so when we are about to fall down, we get one extra action, one extra attack. And that's once per long rest. And once per short rest, we get an extra D8-ish damage. It's not great, but as a half feat, it's okay. That's Tiefling, as I kind of expected. Proficiency with one skill, tool, and fluency in one language. Oh, one skill, one tool, and language. And expertise. So it's a expertise, but it's not a half feat. That's no good. Orcish Fury is pretty mediocre. Okay, so half feats for Orc are bad, is what I've learned. That's fine. So then we get one feat. I think, obviously, we only have one choice. Our one feat is going to be, it has to be Warcaster. Warcaster is a given. And then spell. Oh, I keep switching to that. Okay, so how hard is it to get that dexterity up? Hard, but not impossible. What if I just go... Okay, that one's in. We'll take a half feat sometime, probably, to get our dexterity up. We'll put into 15. Charisma matters. And actually, charisma is the only other thing that matters. I guess I could... Okay, we go charisma 15. And we're going to switch. We're going to go 16-16 when we hit level 8. But for now, the most important thing that we can have is Warcaster. 2 dump stats, almost 3 dump stats. We managed to make use of the Orc subrace. Well, the Orc, but whatever. Oh, and because we did that, we also get the extra D4 to Wisdom, to Perception, and Survival. Incredibly good. Hunter's Mark. That's a good bonus first level spell, particularly for us. And it has Concentration. Not that great for us, but whatever. Okay. Sorcerers get 1 spell known per level. And I believe they start with... How many spells do they know, actually? Let's just... They start with a handful, I know. They start with 2 and then 1 per level. And by 4th, we'll have 5 cantrips. Cool. So, turns out that we don't care much. We are going to grab go to our spell list. Why are the words so small? My God. Can I increase font size? I guess I'll just increase everything. Okay. Don't know why Bless is there. It shouldn't be. First level. Shield. Absorb elements. Second level. We already know darkness. We already know darkness. So that's fine. But we're going to also... Well, put it down. Darkness. Let's see. We're not proficient in any kind of armor, huh? I guess we better. We could multi-class, but it would mean losing a spell, so that's probably no good. Oh, that's going to eat away at our spell slots if we can't time it well. Okay. Well, we do what we can with it. It's fine. Darkness. Shadow Blade. And that's... Oh, we get one more. Any suggestions? A ranged spell may... okay, let's look at our cantrips. Cantrips. Why does that one get to be in big text? Booming Blade. Green Flame Blade. Why is spacebar? That's obnoxious. For some reason, it thinks that whenever I hit spacebar now, I want to go down a page. Very obnoxious. So I guess we're just typing in one word answers now. That's fine. We get 5 cantrips. Whoops, I hit caps lock. Prestidigitation, obviously, always. Oh, now I can do it. It's because I hit tab, I guess, or something. Firebolt. We get one more. I don't even care what this one more is, really. Blade Ward, maybe? Not Blade Ward, no, that's the defense one. Sword Burst. We get one more spell. We could do another second level spell, but honestly, I think that we're going to grab one more first level spell, and that spell is going to be Silvery Barbs. Because we're degenerate. Need a crowd control spell. No way, we're a glass cannon. We don't do crowd control. We do hitting things. Also, our crowd control is darkness. Our crowd control spell is darkness, and we use our sorcery points to fuel it. Because we be a shadow sorcerer, and we can cast darkness for just two sorcery points, which is a absolutely good deal, and we can see through our own darkness. So, screw the rest of the party, I guess, but we basically got a free Devil Sight. Except it only works on our magical darkness, and only that, but whatever. With that said, I'm looking at our... Okay. This is probably a little bit cheesy, a little bit cheap, but I'm tempted to say... Oh no, we actually do kind of need... We do kind of need our single feet, we need Warcaster just because it gives advantage on Constitution saves. What are we going to use bonus actions on? Not much. Mostly probably bonus actions. If we do the attack action, there's a good chance that we dual wield. Otherwise, we just don't have a lot of bonus action activity. Not great, not super efficient, but it's okay. We'll probably dual wield because we can't have a shield anyway, and since we have Warcaster and most of the spells that require only verbal components, we don't really need a free hand. So we'll grab a rapier and a rapier, shadow blade, and a dagger. Just start with those. I don't know. Oh, because I had this set to the Paladin. What were our stats that we chose? Oh, we get Fairy Fire as a free first level spell. Unfortunately, Hunter's Mark takes our concentration, but sometimes we won't use Shadow Blade. We'll use it in a time when we don't have any darkness left. I just realized something that's going to screw me up. Darkness takes concentration, doesn't it? Fuck. Okay, so we can't have Shadow Blade and Darkness going. It's not the end of the world because Darkness is better than Shadow Blade most of the time. Like, we'll just use the Darkness. But the times when we would want... Okay, time to refer to the Sorcerer's spell list real quick. Remember when concentration was not a thing. I actually like concentration rules because being able to stack buffs is a little bit ridiculous sometimes. But... Sorcerer's spell list. Let's see what we got. I'm glad I'm not bigger because I'm not using official sources. Second level. I'm looking for... Blur is fine. Flame Blade, much worse than Shadow. Magic Weapon, Concentration. Mental Barrier, Mind Spike, Mind Thrust. Mirror Image. Mirror Image is a really good contender. The only thing is that I was considering the fact that I can see through the darkness, and I really like that. And we're actually surprisingly durable because we can survive 2 hits that should have brought us to 0. So with those in mind... Spell stacking, that's AD&D. Yeah, 3-5 also. I think that what we're going to do is grab, where was it? Mirror image. When we really don't want to get hit and we run out of our improved darkness, a mirror image lets us stay in melee and not be too afraid. So, oh, that's the... I'm just going to close my Paladin sheet because that's done. And it keeps distracting me. Mirror image. Save me a little bit of extra health. Let me stay in combat. Doesn't require concentration. So I can use it alongside Hunter's Mark when I run out of sorcery points. But honestly, I'm probably just going to burn all of my sorcery points into more darkness, because 2 sorcery points for darkness is just an incredible ability, particularly when I can see through it myself. Of course, now that you can get Devil's Sight as a feat, it's less valuable, but whatever. We're a glass cannon, but we're not a complete glass cannon because we have 16 Constitution and also a little bit other stuff. So this should actually be 15, 16, 2 times per long rest. If we would be knocked out, we instead go down to 1 hit point. One of those times has limitations, one of them doesn't. 8, we're dumb. 10, 15. We're dumb and weak and not all that wise, but we're charismatic, tough, and nimble. Let's see, I believe that's charisma and constitution. Proficiency at level 4 is that 2 or 3? I think it's still 2. I think at level 5 you get proficiency 3. Just offhand. Arcana, obviously. Actually, maybe we don't care about Arcana. We're going to go Acrobatics. We get to choose 4, basically. Persuasion. Intimidation. And Perception. Seems like the correct 4 to me. Stone Skin, Mirror Image, Haste, Cat's Grace, Levitation, Enlarge. Sure. I mean, there's a million, right? You just stack all the things. Hit points. Will someone roll 3d8? Just type in exclamation point roll and then 3d8 and it will do it for us. 2 plus 13 is 15. That's good enough for now. It's bad, but it's good enough. 13 plus 8 is 21, plus 4 levels of that, so plus another 12. So 33 hit points. Let's see, 4 point... Wait, I said D8? Shit. Sorry, would you roll D6s instead? I messed up. 12 plus 6 is 18. So 18 plus whatever we roll. That is a low roll. Oh well. That's what? 2, 2, and a 3 off of 7, off of 3. It's bad, but 25 hit points. The good news is that we're planning to always be covered by darkness that we can see through and other people can't. So advantage, disadvantage gives us a lot of benefit. We don't need the Shadow Blade. I believe technically you can just dual wield rapiers. It's dumb, but whatever. Lots of reactions. Yeah. We also have shield and various other, and absorb elements and whatever else. It's not like, oh. Actually, I want that one still. Weapons. Is Scimitar the light one? Which makes no sense because it's literally... Okay, I've complained about this before. Scimitars are a type of rapier, at least in modern. The weapon, which is... They both cost 25 gold. Scimitar deals slashing, which I'm fine with. But it's 3 pounds, and it's a light weapon. Whereas the rapier is D8 2 pounds and not a light weapon. Like, I guess it makes sense that the non-light weapon deals a D8 versus the light weapon dealing a D6. But you can't tell me that the heavier weapon, which is used for slashing rather than like how rape and épée. If I'm stabbing with my rapier, it's an épée. Whereas a scimitar is a bladed rapier. Rapier is a class of bladed weapon, much like swords. So, not a single thing. These are both rapiers. So also, scimitars sometimes are much heavier weapons, which are kind of a single-bladed short sword. But that's actually more accurately a corsair. But whatever. All that aside, the fact that the heavier weapon is light annoys me, but for a D6, do I want to just go with a dagger instead? Average of 1d4 difference, and you get the thrown ability? Not really. I'm happy with a rapier or a scimitar. Scimitar, just to do something with my bonus action. Deal an extra d6 of damage. We can fill this in. Our proficiency is 2, so 5. Why are those numbers so... I hate this sheet. This sheet's awful. Charisma is also +2, so that's also 5. No, that's only 4. Haha. Wisdom +0. Intelligence -1. Surely won't ever find an intelligence save. Dexterity 2 and strength -1. How exciting. Very low. We are not good on saves. If I can get a something to increase my saves, I should consider it. Not going to fill the skills. We got our spell list. We have that. Not bad. We use Warcaster. We want to, as often as we can, get them to trigger attacks of opportunity. So we're going to attack them up until, actually forever. We're going to always use Booming Blade or Green Flame Blade. Resilient Dexterity. I think at level... Actually, do we have any spells that even care about our Charisma? No. I could dump Charisma. Actually, that's an interesting idea because if I do this, that gives me 4 points, which I can then spread out like that just to balance our saves a little bit. The only thing that cares about Charisma that we have, the only thing that's bad with this is that eventually we become a full caster unless we decide to... We could, after 6, if we don't care about the cool abilities at 14 and 18, we could prestige class out after level 6. And honestly, like, Hexblade would be pretty good. But then Hexblade, I just want to do maximum Charisma. So Hexblade's not great. Rogue would be fine. Not Genie, but maybe a different kind of Warlock. Paladin, we don't have the strength. We'd have to have 13 strength to prestige class into by 5th edition rules. And there's no way that that's worth doing. That's the other build that I was just working on, was my Paladin, who is a crit fisher. The full set, Elven Accuracy. Not the full set, but Elven Accuracy mostly, and then fishing for them. A lot of ways to set up advantage. I think that... What other... Fighter, actually. Fighter just needs strength or dexterity to prestige into. And a few levels of fighter actually have quite a bit of value. I guess fighter, rogue, or maybe warlock. Warlock actually is interesting, even if we don't go Hexblade, because Hexblade isn't very valuable on this build, surprisingly. But we could go like Genie, grab Dow, or just basic Fiend, Warlock, or anything else, and use the Warlock spells to fuel sorcery points, which we then turn around. Every 2 sorcery points gives us another darkness that we can see through. We don't need to use an invocation on Devil's Sight because we have it ourselves, effectively. Interesting thoughts there. But that's a 4th level sorcerer. Not bad, not bad. I think, though, I'm done with character building, and I don't have another D&D project right now. Not until I get the equipment guidelines for the Paladin. I could do some Minecraft or something right now, but also I normally end at 6, and frankly, I want to try to, if I can, get some video editing done. So I think we're going to look for a raid. College of Swords. Wait a second. Okay. No. You raise an interesting point. Before we raid, we're going to check this out. What's the other fighting bard school? There's College of Swords and College of... +2 damage to rolls. 2 have been fighting. Okay, so we get a fighting style at 3. Valor. That was the other one I was thinking. Yeah. And, okay, so we get 2 weapon fighting. Valuable. That's an extra, by that point, 3 damage on the second attack. Attack action, get extra movement speed. And if it hits a creature... Extra damage equal to Bardic Inspiration and more AC. Inspiration, extra damage. to it and the one something else within 5 feet. And pushes the target away from you. Okay, so here's my only consideration with it. I think that we're better off, like we get an extra attack at 6th level, that's fine. But I think that we're almost always better off casting Booming Blade. The extra attack makes like the mobile flourish okay, but they don't get attacks of opportunity if we move away and they can't see us. We can attack them with Booming Blade, force them to move back towards us, potentially get behind them and see if they won't trigger a attack of opportunity. I'm going to check out Valor, though, because now that I've thought of it, now that it was pointed out, College of Valor. Proficiency with medium, with, well, as soon as we go into Bard, we get proficiency with light armor. But medium armor and shields is handy. And martial weapons. Can roll that die to deal damage. When an attack is made against the creature, it can use reaction to roll and gain AC. That's okay. Valor gives more armor and weapon proficiencies, which is nice. I think the nice thing about Bard is it uses charisma. It does, but our charisma is not... So far, we don't actually have much that needs charisma, honestly. What I was thinking is that we probably go into Rogue next, because we have very good sneak attacks, and that already sneak attack emphatically works with Booming Blade, also Green Flame Blade. So we get sneak attack damage onto Booming Blade, and also once we're in the darkness, if we hit them with Booming Blade, we use our bonus action as a rogue, starting at 2nd level, to stealth, specifically stealthing so that they don't hear where we go, and we move around behind them. Or maybe we only stealth after we move 5 feet back, so they hear us move away, they know they have Booming Blade on, and then we move back towards them, but then kind of around them a bit, so that if they either choose to disengage and move away from us the other way, that's fine. We still can attack them. But specifically, if they try to re-engage with us, they move out of our range, and we get to, once again, use a cantrip, like Booming Blade, as an attack of opportunity. That free stealth as a bonus action, and also getting sneak attack damage on Booming Blade, that's pretty nice. This isn't a super optimized character, to be fair, because it, I mean, we're a half-orc. We're a half-orc sorcerer. If my paladin wasn't already a half-elf, and if I hadn't already done a drow who was similar, There's actually a lot of elves that would do very good with this, because then I would choose Elven Accuracy over Warcaster, and getting that double advantage in the dark just goes chef's kiss. College of Whispers, fun for that kind of burst damage. I believe you. Whispers is fun. I haven't actually played Bard either for a very long time. Kind of sad. Dump. Bum. But I'm going to move us back to my room. It is time. I'm going to raid out. Thank you guys so much for hanging out today. It's been a little bit different from usual, but you know what? I will take it because I like meeting the new people, hanging out, doing the D&D stuff. I don't get enough chances to do that. Yeah, I appreciate you being here, Admonius. Thank you for following. Stick around, hit the raid, get those extra channel points, and also, you know, it's just nice to do. Could have sworn that Ivory Latifa was already partner, but maybe she is on her partner push. Or I could raid the half-dragon Shritz, who is playing Genshin. Oh, let's raid Shritz. He often is in chat, and I like to give that little boost to people I know. If I can spell his name right, which I'm not completely sure I can. There we are, Shritz. Say hi, be friendly. Looks like they're playing with some people. Actually. Just gonna check out who they are playing with, make sure just what is up. Never mind. We're going to actually raid Ivory Latifa after all. I changed my mind. She's looking. It looks like she's pushing for partner if she's not already. So give her some love. Get her across that finish line, and I will see you guys later. I will see you on Saturday. Bye-bye. Oh, come on. Okay. Better. Hit the end button. Read.
Thank you so much for the raid. Thank you. Oh, don't